Hey everybody, it's me, Sunclips101, and today we are watching Kong Skull Island. I cannot wait. This is gonna be pretty fucking awesome. So last time we watched Godzilla 2014, and it was pretty good. I really enjoyed Godzilla 2014, even though there could have been a lot more in that movie. I found it really enjoying. But we're doing Kong Skull Island today, and next time we're gonna be doing Godzilla King of the Monsters, leading all the way up to Godzilla vs. Kong. Alrighty, so Kong Skull Island is the latest in King Kong films. For all I know about King Kong is from the original black and white films, King Kong Escapes and King Kong Lives. The one I'm most familiar with is the Peter Jackson King Kong film that came out early 2000s. That's the one I know the most. That one's also a very long ass movie. But besides that, it's pretty good. I like how it takes place in the Vietnam setting. Samuel Jackson's kind of technically the bad guy of the film, which is kind of cool. The skull crawlers are pretty cool. Also, Kong himself, pretty badass. Also, fireproof somehow. Got Kong right here, looking pretty good. Or should I say King Kong, actually. That's who he is from the actual stuff. King Kong. He looks pretty cool. With all that being said, let's get on into Kong Skull Island. Alrighty, so Kong Skull Island opens up with these two army guys falling into Skull Island. They end up getting into a shootout. They both miss. They end up chasing each other through the forest, and they end up coming up to this cliff side. Oh fuck, they can't go anywhere, so they end up fighting. And they're all fighting and stuff. Buddy loses his soul. They end up on the back, and Buddy has a knife. So he ends up like trying to like stab him, and right before he does, Kong comes out of nowhere. And Buddies are pretty shocked, and it just fades into their eyes, and that's it. And then the movie pretty much starts from there. I think it's a pretty cool opening for a film. I really enjoyed it. It's kind of cool to watch. I like how they show us the montage of everything that's been going on. The history of the monster universe was kind of just a little glimpse of it in Kong Skull Island here. I like how they do all the clips. I really like how it does all that. And then it fades into pretty much 1973, where John Goodman and his buddy are hanging out. Monarch, they're back, everybody. And we gotta go trick this one guy into pretty much allowing us to go to this island. Skull Island, hell yeah. We end up convincing him, and he's like, yeah, okay, sure, whatever, we'll just go. Pretty cool. I like this guy. He's from Cabin in the Woods. He's awesome. Anyways, so we end up getting a military escort, which is kind of cool. And the leader of the team is Samuel Jackson. Probably one of my more favorite characters in this movie. Does some weird things, but besides that, one of my favorite characters in it. And then we get introduced to Brie Larson. She's a photographer. She's pretty cool. She's pretty much just there to take photos. And then we also go to the ball, and they end up meeting Tom Hiddleston, Loki. He's the tracker. He's kind of cool. He's just there for some reason. I don't really know why he's there, but he also does a pretty good job. And then we end up meeting the crew. Whole bunch of great actors here. I think the chemistry between all of them is fucking great. So pretty much we end up making it to the island, and it's really stormy all the way around. It's like a shield of storm. Kind of cool. I think it looks really fucking great. First, no one really wants to go in, but John Goodman's like, going in, motherfuckers. And Samuel Jackson's like, yeah. And then they go in. As they're going into the place, it's really fucking cool because it's like stormy, and Samuel Jackson gives us his quote of the movie. It's really fucking great. Not his best, but it's definitely up there. Just as you think things get really bad, boom, everything's good. Nice sunny day, and the mountains look weird, and the water looks a little bit more wider than usual, but things look good. No more storm. We got through it, everybody. And then they're like, okay, so we're gonna drop some bombs. So these are just gonna like pretty much to see if it's hollow or not. So that's pretty much the second name drop of the hollow earth in this universe. First time we got to see the name drop was in Godzilla 2014, where they briefly mentioned it, but this is where we actually get to see what they mean about the hollow earth. So they're like, oh shit, man, fucking bedrock's like barely hollow. Cool, okay, cool. And then as they're dropping bombs and everything, Kong finds them. Yeah, King Kong. Buddy's not happy. This motherfucker's right here, not happy. Pissed. Starts destroying all the helicopters, starts eating some guys as a sandwich. It's kind of funny. That was just a sandwich. Samuel Jackson tries killing Buddy, but he ends up crashing his helicopter, which is kind of funny. Kong's just awesome in this scene. He starts destroying. It looks really cool. And pretty much he ends up destroying all the helicopters. And Samuel Jackson's just standing there like, you just murdered all my buddies. Now we're enemies. Now I'm gonna go crazy for no reason. Kong kind of just like leaves. He's like, hey guys, I'm fucking out of here. And then everyone's kind of like they're trapped now. They're trapped on the island. We get one of my most favorite scenes in this whole movie. That's Buddy from Asian Cardo just sitting eating a can of beans or a can of something. And his buddy's like, what are you doing, man, at a time like this? Just thought that was a really good scene, one of my favorites. All right, so Chapman gets stranded on a pretty far away destination on the island, and Samuel Jackson's like, okay, I got you, buddy. I'm on my way. I'm gonna come get you. But unfortunately, he gets murdered by Skullcrawler, which is not good. So Samuel Jackson meets back up with the group. They're all like, hey guys, it's good to see you again. Where the hell is John Goodman? He needs to explain himself right now. So Samuel Jackson, hey buddy, what's going on? Tell me everything right now. Pretty good scene. I think it's really intimidating, and I thought it was really well acted. This is where we find out a little bit about John Goodman's character, and turns out he was originally on that ship that we saw earlier that got destroyed. He was one of the only survivors. I think it's pretty cool. You really get a feel for his hatred for the kaiju, and I think it's really well acted. Alright, so these two guys right here are pretty awesome. I think they're probably the most entertaining thing about this movie. But unfortunately, this is the spider scene, and it's pretty fucking crazy. So these guys, these fucking spiders, man, they pretty much like they spike you and they suck you out dry. This nuts. Buddy starts getting pulled out. They're like, Joe, we gotta cut the legs. They end up cutting the legs and everything. I just gotta say, this scene was fucking awesome. The spider scene is definitely cool as hell in Kong. So this is the part where we run into John C. Reilly's character. John C. Reilly is very fucking entertaining in this movie, and he is a madman also. This is the part where they all meet up, and we think bad things are about to happen, but not really. Buddy pops out, like, hey guys, oh, cool, chill. And they end up pretty much learning about Kong. They find out why he's here, what happened to him. So they gotta get to the north end of the island, and John C. Reilly's character's like, not happening. Hell no, man. You guys are dead. Definitely dead. So he ends up giving them the alternate solution, which is the boat. And the boat's kind of cool. It's made of all these like weird parts of the planes, and it looks really neat. Alright, so this is a pretty cool scene as well. So we got Buddy over here in the water. He's bleeding. He's trying to heal himself up a little bit, and Kong comes out of nowhere. He's walking in the water. He ends up like kneeling down, and he starts drinking, and he reaches into the water. He just pulls a giant squid out. Just a massive kaiju level squid. He fights it. He beats it up. He ends up biting it a lot, and he ends up eating it, and he pulls it away. It's kind of cool. And Buddy the whole time is just like, what the hell is happening? So John C. Reilly's character and the gang, they end up getting the boat to war. And, well, Buddy has to say goodbye to his friend and say goodbye to the village. And it's kind of nice how they send that off. They end up going down the river, and they end up finally meeting the other half of the team. But unfortunately, Samuel Jackson, instead of wanting to go and get off the island, he actually wants to go and get his buddy, who he doesn't know at this point is dead because he got killed by a skullcrawler earlier. He doesn't know that. So he's like, hey, Loki, buddy. Can you help us out here? We gotta go get our guy back. And he's like, yeah, sure, whatever. I don't want to, but I don't really get much of a choice. And they end up going to like this green gas area. That's the remains of Kong's family. It's kind of cool. I think it looks fucking awesome. And unfortunately, John Goodman's character gets murdered though by a skullcrawler, and a lot more people die there too. There's a really cool shot of a fucking big old machine gun on top of a skull, and it looked really fucking awesome. But unfortunately, nothing works out for them, and a lot of them die. After all the slicing and dicing's done and the big action set piece is over, they end up getting into a big argument, and they end up splitting. They end up being like, no, you go this way, we go this way, screw it, we're done. And so one team ends up going off, and they kind of run into Kong, and they're like, they do this like really nice hand scene where they put their hand on his nose, and it's really cool. With the other team, they end up going and trying to kill Kong. They want to blow him up and eradicate him, which is kind of not cool. And so as he's like walking over, Samuel Jackson's like, come and get me. He's standing on a rock, has a big flaming torch. So, you ain't gonna get me. And Kong starts running. And I was like, whoa. And Samuel Jackson, he throws a big old torch in the water, and it all just lights up. And Kong starts lighting on fire, and somehow isn't just a crisp by the end of it, but he ends up getting out of it. And he splashes fire on everybody, but he passes out from the fumes. And now they're like, okay, so we're gonna set C4 all around everybody, and we're gonna blow him up. We're gonna kill Kong. So the other team, they run in. They're like, no, you ain't gonna kill him. That's not cool, man. And and they end up convincing the rest of Samuel L. Jackson's troops to stand down and come with them. So they get the fuck out of there because now a giant, the biggest kaiju Skullcrawler has now just broken out and is ready to kill them all. So Samuel L. Jackson's like, no, fuck you guys. I'm gonna stay here and blow up Kong because I'm a dumbass now for some reason. So he goes to say his one-liner and then he gets crushed by Kong. And Kong and the kaiju, they end up fucking fighting. And it's pretty cool, man. It's a cool fight. Like there's net biting, there's punching, Kong gets thrown into a whole bunch of ships, and Squad are now like, okay, so we gotta help Kong out, we gotta get on the boat, get a big old machine gun, and we gotta start shooting this giant fucking kaiju level Skullcrawler. And it works. It definitely works. For some reason, Tom Hiddleston ends up distracting the one kaiju. I don't really get this point, but he does that. But yeah, no, it's kind of cool because we find out like Kong can actually interact with his environment. He can pick up certain items. Like so, he picks up a tree. So he starts swinging that around. He gets a chain with a weight on the end of it, and he like hurls that. It's kind of cool. He ends up slicing the one kaiju with it. It's really fucking cool. Okay, so this real buddy from Agent Carter ends up dying. He's like, go live, kid, and he like takes the grenades and he walks in. But surprisingly, a twist happens and the kaiju refuses to walk towards him and ends up batting him. Which is kind of awesome. I like how that character ends up blowing up in a lot of his movies. But then right before the kaiju can kill his friends, Kong comes out of nowhere and just BAM! Just whoop-bam! Just whoop-bam! Just rocks someone. So Brie Larson shoots the kaiju in the eye, kind of burning him. Kong ends up throwing the kaiju into the wall and throwing Brie Larson's character into the water. Kong has to go over and save her. He ends up saving her, and the kaiju is still alive. Oh no, the Skullcrawler, he's still good. He's ready to fight still. And he ends up trying to eat Brie Larson as she's in Kong's hand. And it's kind of cool because Kong ends up fucking just yanking his insides out. Cause yeah, that's how he does it, and it's fucking awesome. Brie Larson's okay, she survives, and Tom Hiddleston's like, "Are you okay? All's good." Colin looks back, and it's pretty cool. They make eye contact, and it looks really sweet. Then after that, they end up getting off the island. There's a really cool song. It's really sad, and well, the helicopters come and pick them up, and they get off the island. Kong sees the helicopters, and he doesn't like the helicopters. Kong does not like helicopters, and that's pretty much the ending of the movie right though. But what I like about this movie is that there's kind of a second story to all of it. So the guy who landed on the island got lost though, made a new friend, and they grew together, and all he really wanted was a hot dog and a beer. And it's really cool because he also really wanted to meet his family. And at the ending of the movie, he gets that. He gets to meet his family again, and he gets to sit back with his legs up on the coffee table, drink a beer, and eat a hot dog. It's a beautiful scene, and it's a great way to end this movie. So with all that said, everybody, that is Kong Skull Island, and I still think after a couple years now, it's not bad. I think it's not better or worse than the previous Kong movies we have gotten. I think it's a pretty good addition to the Kong movies, and I like it. I really enjoy it. I can't wait to see Kong come back in Godzilla vs. Kong. I think that's going to be pretty awesome. I also saw a little bit of the other two Kong movies, Kong Lives and Kong Escapes. I thought those looked really interesting. So if you guys want me to, I will watch those one day. Alright, come back next time, everybody, when we do Godzilla, King of the Monsters.